work, of our efforts, and an important partner for USAID.
The United States Agency for International Development, USAID, is an independent federal agency established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy. It serves as the primary civilian foreign aid and development assistance arm of the U.S. government, with a mission to promote democratic values abroad and advance a free, peaceful, and prosperous world. USAID operates with a substantial annual budget of over $50 billion and employs more than 10,000 people. The agency maintains a decentralized network of field missions in over 100 developing countries, primarily in Africa, Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe. USAID's work spans various sectors, including agriculture, democracy, economic growth, education, environment, health, and humanitarian assistance. USAID's primary objectives include 1. Boosting democratic values worldwide. 2. Helping nations become self-reliant. 3. Alleviating poverty and addressing humanitarian needs. 4. Supporting U.S. commercial interests by fostering economic growth in developing countries. The agency delivers assistance through two main channels. 1. Technical assistance, providing expert advice, training, scholarships, and commodities. 2. Financial assistance, offering grants to supplement budgets of developing country organizations and NGOs. The concept of a whole-of-society approach in the context of U.S. global influence refers to a comprehensive strategy that involves various sectors and actors beyond just government agencies. This approach recognizes that addressing complex global challenges requires the involvement of multiple stakeholders, including 1. Government agencies. 2. Private sector businesses. 3. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs. 4. Academic institutions. 5. Civil society organizations. 6. Local communities. USAID's implementation of this approach can be seen in its collaborations with diverse partners to achieve its development goals. By engaging a wide range of actors, the U.S. aims to create a more holistic and sustainable impact on the societies it seeks to influence. While USAID's stated mission is to promote development and democratic values, there are concerns about how its policies and programs might be used as tools for censorship and information control outside the United States. USAID's recently launched 10-year digital policy aims to expand access to the internet and digital technology in developing countries. However, this policy has raised concerns about potential censorship and social control. 1. Content moderation. The policy includes initiatives to train and hire content moderators and data enrichment workers who classify information to train AI for content detection and censorship. 2. Vague definitions. Terms like information manipulation and information integrity are defined vaguely, potentially allowing for broad interpretation and application. 3. Promotion of Western standards. The policy aims to promote democracy and Western human rights standards, which could be seen as imposing specific ideological views on other cultures. 4. Collaboration with tech platforms. USAID is working to develop international human rights standards for technology platforms, which could lead to uniform content control across multiple platforms. A 97-page disinformation primer obtained from USAID reveals strategies that could be interpreted as attempts to control information flow. 1. Regulating alternative spaces. The document calls for regulating video games and online message boards, potentially limiting free expression in these spaces. 2. Steering users. There are efforts to guide individuals away from alternative media and towards more establishment-friendly sites. 3. Financial pressure. The document suggests working with advertisers to financially cripple organizations that don't align with official narratives. 4th, Promotion of government-backed fact-checkers. The primer highlights organizations like Bellingcat and the Atlantic Council as leaders in fighting disinformation, despite their close ties to the national security state. USAID has a history of involvement in information manipulation campaigns. 1. Cuban social media app. In 2010, USAID secretly created a Cuban social media app called Zunzuneo, designed to slowly introduce regime change propaganda. 2. Cuban hip-hop scene. The agency attempted to infiltrate and organize Cuba's hip-hop scene as an anti-government force. Third color revolution attempts. In 2021, USAID was reportedly involved in an attempted color revolution in Cuba. These historical examples demonstrate USAID's willingness to engage in covert information operations to influence foreign populations. While USAID's primary focus is on international development, there are concerns about whether similar tools and strategies could be applied domestically. 1. Technology transfer. Techniques developed for foreign application could potentially be adapted for domestic use. 2. Information sharing. Collaboration between USAID and other government agencies could lead to the sharing of censorship and information control methodologies. 3. Public-private partnerships. USAID's work with tech companies and advertisers to control information flow abroad could set precedents for similar actions within the U.S. 4. Normalization of censorship. The acceptance of these practices internationally might lead to their gradual introduction in domestic contexts. However, it's important to note that there is no direct evidence of USAID applying these tools within the United States. The agency's mandate is specifically focused on international development and foreign assistance. The use of development aid as a potential tool for censorship and information control raises several concerns. 1. Sovereignty issues. Imposing specific ideological standards through development aid could be seen as infringing on the sovereignty of recipient nations. 2. Cultural imperialism. The promotion of Western values and standards might not always align with local cultural norms and practices. 3. Stifling of diverse perspectives. Efforts to control information flow could potentially suppress alternative viewpoints and limit healthy public discourse. 4. Erosion of trust. If USAID's role in information control becomes widely known, it could undermine trust in U.S. development efforts and damage international relationships. 5. Potential for misuse. The tools and strategies developed for fighting disinformation could potentially be misused to suppress legitimate dissent or criticism. USAID, as the primary international development agency of the United States, plays a significant role in promoting U.S. interests abroad. While its stated mission focuses on humanitarian aid and development assistance, the agency's involvement in information control and potential censorship raises important questions about the nature of its influence. The whole-of-society approach, while potentially beneficial for comprehensive development, also opens up avenues for more pervasive influence over foreign societies. The digital policies and information control strategies employed by USAID could be seen as tools for shaping narratives and controlling information flow in recipient countries. While there is no direct evidence of these tools being used domestically, the potential for technology transfer and normalization of such practices is a concern that warrants ongoing scrutiny. As USAID continues to evolve its strategies in the digital age, it will be crucial to balance development goals with respect for sovereignty, diverse perspectives, and freedom of information. Ultimately, the role of USAID in potential censorship and information control highlights the complex interplay between development aid, foreign policy, and the global information landscape. It underscores the need for transparency, accountability, and ongoing dialogue about the appropriate boundaries of influence in international development efforts.